Well, that replacement fridge I bought just a month ago to replace the original one died. So I had to replace that. And I caught a shooting star on the dash cam on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. That is Rusty, the world famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Coming to you live from the Clutch Trucker Studios, currently located in Troutdale, Oregon. That's on the west side of the Portland area, just off I-84. At the TA here, this place is a complete cluster mug. Just like that TA in North Bend, west of Seattle, is just a freaking horror show. This one's not quite as bad. At least the lot is flat, so I'm not like leaning, and I should be able to sleep fairly decently tonight. But yeah, I did the other three stops today. I had, the Spokane Valley yesterday, and then went to Ritzville last night at the Loves, and then made it all the way over to my first delivery today in Fife, Washington, which is right near Tacoma area, basically Seattle, Tacoma. Then had to drive down here to Portland for two deliveries, which were ironically only 9/10 of a mile apart, which I thought was kind of weird. So it was all auto glass, and so then got to do that. And unfortunately, this morning though, my fridge had died. This is the second fridge, because I initially bought the original one way back in September when I started the remodel, and it only lasted what was it, even a month? It was about a month maybe, and it died. It was a Hisense from Lowe's. And so then I got a replacement. I got a different Hisense one, different model, but it's still another Hisense brand from Lowe's, and that was a month ago. And that took a crap on me, I guess, while I was sleeping last night. Of course, then I just reloaded the fridge. My wife had made me this great, more of this great chicken Dorito casserole, and made me some taco meat, and I loaded it with other stuff. And so I took my sock, underwear, and shorts box that's back in my closet, dumped all that out. I took the ice packs from the freezer. Thank God I got a separate freezer, and the freezer's been doing fine. Put those at the bottom, put all the food in there after I had to wait till I got to my first stop this morning to do that, so hopefully everything wasn't too warm by then. Then put the other ice pack I still had on top. After I delivered, I stopped at this Love's, bought a bag of ice, poured all that in there. So, trying to save the food. So while I was driving and while I was at my first stop and stuff, I looked up to see, all right, what else is around? What could I get? I've never had an issue with these before. Like I've had Magic Chefs from Home Depot, and those have always worked fine. They've always lasted at least 2 to 3 years in the truck. And you shouldn't really expect much more out of that because they're bouncing around in the truck all the time. But more than a month. Okay, so I looked on Home Depot, but all they have is the one. Since I have a separate freezer, I don't want one with a freezer at the top inside. So I definitely don't want the two-door ones. And the single-door ones, they all still have that little freezer up at the top, which I hate. And that's the only kind of Magic Chef they had available at a Home Depot anywhere near where I was going to be delivering today. So on a hunch, I went on the Best Buy website, and they had an Insignia. Now, if you remember when I put up my new TV, it's an Insignia. I've been happy with that, so I'm like, okay, I'll give that a shot. It was $169. So, all fridge, same size as the Hisense that just took a big crap load on me last night. So, meanwhile, with all my food sitting in my socks, underwear, and shorts box under ice, trying to save the food today, then after I did my last delivery, ran over to Best Buy and picked this one up, and I did what I've always done when I've had to do that before, which is I tell the guy, look, if you have somebody help me hoist it up there, and if you can take away the other one, that'd be great, because I've got nowhere to put it. So they did that. I gave the guy, $10 for helping me out. I got it all the way over to the seat and out myself and put it on the side. I had parked next to the Best Buy, and he helped me hoist it up there again, which was nice. So now it's back in place. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, it's not a silver one. They only had black. Fine, I don't care. I just want it to work and not die on me. But you can see it's essentially the same size as that last Hisense one was. But this one is Insignia. Ho, ho, ho. So hopefully this is going to work for me. It's cooling down now, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Oh, and this is my socks, underwear, and shorts box, and See, it's got all the food in there under ice packs and ice, trying to save it till I can put it back in the new fridge. A while back, you know, when I was talking to John Hallgren, you know, if you've watched my videos at all, you know he's been remotely a big help through all this remodel process. And he, you know, has this wireless temperature monitor, and he said, hey, you should maybe get one of those for your fridge, and maybe also one for the fresh water tank, so you know if that's ever getting too cold down there and you might need to drain the water out. I'm like, hey, great idea. I just had the one initially set up, and I had been leaving it in the fridge, and of course that's how I knew this morning that the fridge had died, not only because it seemed kind of warm in there when I opened it up, but yeah, it was like 50 some odd degrees inside the fridge, which isn't good for keeping foods, you know, from spoiling. So I had that, and I bought 2 more before I left on the road, you know, a little over, what, 2 months ago, right? Or a month and a half? I don't know, at this point, towards the end of March. And I hadn't opened them yet. And so I opened another one today and put it in the fridge to, you know, see where it's at, so I'll know when it's cool enough to try to put all the food back from the box. Somebody accused me of being too into gadgets and things, but yeah, I am. Alright, so this is the one that's now the new fridge. It is now 46.9 degrees inside the fridge. Outside it's telling me it's 78. This is where, you know, these aren't exact, because here's the one that I was using before. They're right next to each other. This says 78, this says 75 for the temperature. But anyway, so there's 39.7. I left that inside one of the little tray boxes that I have all my like bologna and cheese and stuff in, that is now sitting in that box under the ice. So that's how cold that got down to today. It took a while to get down to that temperature, but I think maybe I've saved the food. So now the new fridge is down to 46.9. Once it gets a little cooler, I can take everything out of the box and put it in the new fridge. See, technology is a beautiful thing. You know, back in the day, you just have to get one of those analog ones and hang it inside the fridge, but now, without opening the door, by gosh, you can see where the temperature is. So, it also answered another question about, since these are the same brand wireless thermometers, would they try to read each other? And no, they're reading their own sensor. So I'll open the third one, and I'm going to mount that one, like I said, down on the fresh water tank, so I can always monitor the temperature of that. So it won't be much of an issue now until we hit next fall. But if it ever starts to get too cold underneath the what used to be the bunk area where the fresh water tank is, and I know I need to drain that tank before it freezes the tank and then cracks it, then that'll be a great way to monitor that. I just have to find a place to mount all these little things and label them each, so I know that's fridge, that's freezer, and that's the fresh water tank. Lots of technology here on the Clutch Trucker truck. Yeah, Turquoise hadn't come up with another load for me to pick up after my deliveries today, which actually kind of worked out well. For one, I had to leave really early this morning to make the deliveries, so I only had a few hours left anyway on my 14, and just, you know, a few hours left to drive. So, but it worked out that I was able to, while I was at that last delivery, go onto the internet and find this fridge at Best Buy. Found there was one just a few miles down the road from where I was able to pick it up. The guy helped me get the old one out, the new one in, bada boom, bada bing, bada boop. So hopefully that'll solve the problem, and hopefully I saved the food, especially that chicken Dorito casserole, baby. That's a beautiful thing that the wife makes. Oh yeah. So yeah, did not get another load, so I smartly reserved a spot here at this Troutdale TA, which was nearest to where I was and where that Best Buy was, because this place always fills up by midday. All the free spots are gone, and as a matter of fact, when I checked, it was like 1:30 while I was getting unloaded. There was only 3 out of 51 paid spots left, so I used my points, because I would have been mad if I'd paid for it and then they got me a load and I couldn't use it. But I used my points, so I don't feel as bad about it. But turns out they didn't get me a load, so here I sit in Troutdale. Now on to something cool. I captured this while driving across Nebraska. I think it was Nebraska the other night. Shooting star on the dash cam, and you know, or meteor, whatever you want to call it. Normally it's kind of hard to catch something like that, but I caught it. It doesn't look as cool on the video as it does in real life, because as it got really low and on the video, it kind of washes out on the oncoming headlights. But I could see in person it turned bright green as it got real close to the ground just before, and it burned up just before it hit the ground. Because normally, you know, meteorites like that, or shooting stars, whatever you want to call them, don't make it that low before they burn themselves up. It's very rare for one to come down that low, so cut it on the dash cam, so let's take a look. And now the ever-famous Clutch Trucker zoom and slow-mo. I say it looked much cooler in person, but I still thought it was neat to be able to catch it on the dash cam anyway. So, you know, make your wish, baby. Well, I can only hope at this point that this fridge gives me a little bit more than a month. Be nice, you know, since I always try to be positive about things, I can look at it this way and say, okay, the last fridge, I got a month out of it, and it was 180 bucks. So that's roughly $6 a day. You know, still, if I was eating out, buying food every day out at the truck stops and stuff, I would have spent twice that easily. So it still saved me some money. It's just, you know, something damn near brand new and it only lasts a month. That's annoying. Let's hope this Insignia brand does well. If it doesn't, I'm going back to Magic Chef. I did see Home Depot did have one that's fridge only, but they don't carry it in the stores. You have to order it from them. And it's more money. It's like $280, where this was only $169. So I hope it lasts. If I can get 6 months out of it, I'll be happy, because then, you know, then it definitely pays for itself when I can eat mainly out of the truck. So we'll just see. But I sure hope this brand is better. I will never buy Hisense ever again from Lowe's. And they always, oh, it's a Lowe's exclusive. Yeah, well, it exclusively blows, is what it does. So, waiting for Bo to give me a call in the morning and find out where I'm going next. Of course, he's 2 hours ahead of me since I'm out here on Pacific time. But, you know, so right now we just gonna chill a little bit. I'm gonna watch some Mythbusters on Discovery Channel and then hit the old rack upstairs. What do you think? Well, just kind of a short one. Yeah, I've been having bad fridge luck lately. Hopefully this one will do better. I didn't buy the same brand again. No. So that shooting star was pretty cool. You didn't get to see it, but you know. Anyway, it looks so much better in real life. You know, the dash cam kind of caught it, and you can tell what it is. But as it got down further, it was even better. So, but anyway, just a short little update. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment. I do get your comments as soon as I can, usually within 2 to 3 days at most. But it takes sometimes that long because I'm a working truck driver. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. What a pisser. Rusty, here it is. Where's it going? Oh, there it goes, back there in front of the new fridge again. Munch, 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 munch. Happy dog. You're making quick work of that. Alright, I have one extra little piece for you. There you go. Happy dog. Alright, think you got it.